everybody. In today's episode, we're going to talk about vegetable ivory. Vegetable ivory is, well, it's what it sounds like. It is an ivory alternative that is made out of plant material, typically the seeds of one of several different palm fruits. So in this video, we're going to actually talk about 3 different vegetable ivories, starting with this one. This is the Tagua Nut. The genus that this comes from is Phytelephas, something like that. It comes from South America. The fruit of this does actually have an edible part to it. These, when they're really, really unripe, are more of a liquid, and people make a drink out of it. Right now, hard as a rock. Couldn't drink this if you tried. There is a little bit of flesh that comes around it, which rodents eat, according to Wikipedia, but no mention of humans eating it. This, by the way, was sent to me by Wanderlust Nursery. They sell the Tagua Nut whole, as well as slices, and also little figurines over on their website. So if you're interested in this sort of thing, check them out. So let's take a look at it. This Tagua Nut, as you can see, is kind of irregularly shaped. It's not perfectly round or anything. It's got a little bit of like a triangular shape, like 3 long sides there, and it's got a little white spot there. I believe they all look like that when they come out of the fruit, and yeah, it's got a little thin skin around it that if we look at the cross section, you can see the color. If we focus, the color on the inside is like ivory, and it's hard like ivory too. Couldn't break it if I tried. So it is pretty effective as that kind of substitute. What's really interesting about this is that historically this was used the same way that plastic is used today. So before plastic was widely available, this was used for the same sort of thing. So it'd be used to make toys, buttons are a big one. In fact, I got an antique here. These are some shirt buttons from probably about 100 years ago or so. And they are made out of the Tagua Nut. Pretty cool. So I've got a Tagua Nut and I've got a knife. Let's do this thing. And there we go. Now I finally have somewhere to put all of my Tagua Nut buttons. Nice. And this is not the only vegetable ivory. As I mentioned earlier, Tagua Nut is just the most popular one. But next we're going to talk about another one. What is probably the second most well-known vegetable ivory are members of the Hyphanae genus, which I'm also probably saying wrong. Now, Hyphanae, these are a genus of palm that come from Africa, the Middle East, and the Indian subcontinent. And it's something I've covered on the channel in the past for the fruit. I actually found something called the doom palm, also known as gingerbread fruit, over when I visited Borneo. Had this. And it had the name Bua Zuriat and the price tag of 105 ringgit a kilo, which is the most expensive thing I've ever seen here in Malaysia. And also the Lala palm when I visited Madagascar.
Like, this is a super rare thing to find.
And they're really cheap.
Yeah.
It was actually 1,000, which would be about 25, 30 cents.
30 cents for 6 of these things, and it is like rare as hell. So
Yeah.
That was money well spent.
The flavor of these fruits is actually really good if you can get to it. If you've got a strong set of teeth and you're willing to gnaw on it, the flavor of it is kind of like a bran muffin or raisin bran. It's quite good and has a really interesting history to it. If you want to learn more about it, check out those videos I made in the past. I'll put some information below.
What I found online is that this is actually used to cause pregnancy. Like women take this if they want to have a baby. And it's not saying like why, not especially like that it's supposed to make you more fertile. It just causes pregnancy, like a miracle. So yeah, after this I might have a little boy or girl to drag around with me on fruit adventures. That'll be fun.
And when I tried the Doom Palm, I knew about it being used as a vegetable ivory, so I tried to get into the seed, and I wasn't able to, because little did I know at the time, you need like a hacksaw or an angle grinder to get into one of those. The third and final vegetable ivory that I want to talk about is members of the Metroxylon genus. The species of this genus that is most often used to make vegetable ivory is from the Caroline ivory nut. And this is a genus that you will find in the Oceania islands and area, so in Polynesia, Micronesia, Melanesia. Recently, I visited Fiji, which is in the area of the world where the Metroxylon genus is most prevalent. And while I was there, I was gifted one of these fruits. Now, I do not know what species it is, but it is one that can be used in the same sort of way. I haven't been able to find a whole lot of information about this, honestly, not even really photos of the ivory being used, but it is something that I see mentioned online, so let's document it. In order to do that, we gotta go to Fiji, which we'll do in a second. Before we go there, I wanna give a quick shout out to the fact that I have t-shirts available on my website. Add over, let's go. Greetings everybody, I'm in downtown Nadi in Fiji right now, and I have the ivory nut fruit. It looks very similar to like a rattan or snake fruit, only bigger and green and round. These are not closely related to those, but it is in the same family. They are also palm fruits. So I'm gonna open up this one here. It's full of like this kind of like spongy fiber. That is very different than any snake fruit. All the snake fruits and snake fruit looking things I've had in the past have had more of like a snake skin. This has got like a decent rind. It's like more like the thickness of an orange rind. Wild. Doesn't look especially good, but let's see what it's like. So one half of it looks a little bit bad.
Probably the white part's gonna be better.
So the white part's probably gonna be better. I'm gonna try this little bit here. It's very like, feels kind of oily. And this, by the way, is something that is edible. It's not really that edible. This is something that, I mean, it's not gonna kill you, but it's not something people eat. And that's probably for a reason. Ah. Tastes like a dry mouth stick. Something about it reminds me of snake fruit, but that is not something you're gonna want to eat. Alright, so Steven, do you want to try this?
Yeah, I'll try it. There's no, I never say no.
Yeah, you're probably not gonna want to swallow that, man. It's just like eating cotton.
It's got a hard seed in the middle, which is what they've used to make the ivory.
Yep. You think you'd be able to get that out of there? We have a knife. This is
You can see it in the middle there.
true devotion to your craft.
It's not.
Is that just one big seed?
I think so.
You sure you don't want a knife? I think you can do it with your teeth. Just keep going.
I don't want to hurt my teeth.
Yeah, this is the first day of our trip. Don't injure yourself.
Kind of avocado-like, I guess.
It's a little bit like an avocado seed. It's got like kind of like a little pininess to it.
The black part's even worse.
What are you doing? Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. It's all clean
Is
now.
it just one seed?
Yeah, it's one seed.
So you can, and it's pretty hard, right?
It's very hard.
It's big and it's hard, so that would be good for making something out of it.
Yeah, but does not taste in any way good.
Well, thank you, Steven, for
It looks cool though.
getting to the middle of that, and it's definitely something I would not have done with my teeth, but you got it done.
So that's it for the vegetable ivory here in Fiji. It's pretty cool. It's cool looking. It's got an interesting use to it. You just don't want to eat it. See you all next time. Bye-bye.
I would like to give a big shout out to Smarter Every Day, WootBot, JMac, and Schoolbird. They are mega patrons over on patreon.com. This is how I can afford to do all the things that I'm doing on this channel, so it's a big help. Thank you so much, guys. And anyone else watching who would like to support the channel and get some cool stuff in return, click the link in the description below. Another thing that you can do is buy a t-shirt. I've got them for sale over on my website, which I've linked in the description below as well. Thank you so much, everybody. See you next time.